Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Blog Podcast. Today is Wednesday, September 19th, 2018. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's baseball games, look ahead to today's slate, go over a little bit of baseball news involving two star players on two contenders, go over my NHL centerman rankings, and do my 2008 NFL redraft. Hard to believe that I'm going to redraft the draft that took place 10 years ago, but I'll do it anyway at the end of the podcast. All right, baseball. Huge win for the Yankees, 3-2 over the Red Sox. Avoid the Sox celebrating on their home field. 92-58 are the Yankees now. 103-48 are the Red Sox. Chad Green with the win. Brendan Workman with the loss. Zach Britton with the save. The Blue Jays defeat the Orioles 6-4. The Jays are 69-82. The O's are 48-108. Jake Petrica with the win. Dylan Bundy with the loss. Ken Giles with the save. The Phillies defeated the Mets 5-2 as they improved to 77-73. The Mets are 70-81. Penn Neshek with the win. Drew Smith with the loss. Hector Neris with the save. The Pirates defeated the Royals 2-1 in 11 innings on a walk-off single by Ryan Lavarnway. The Pirates are 76-74. The Royals are 52-99. Kyle Crick with the win. Birch Smith with the loss. The Indians defeated the White Sox 5-3. The Indians are 84-66. The White Sox are 59-91. Corey Kluber with the win. Carlos Rodon with the loss. Andrew Miller with the save. The Twins defeated the Tigers 5-3. The Twins are 70-81. Detroit 61-90. Jake Odorizzi with the win. Danny Norris with the loss. Trevor Hildenberger with the save. The Nats defeated the Marlins 4-2. The Nats are 77-75. Miami's 59-92. Steven Strasburg with the win. Sandy Alcantara with the loss. Sean Doolittle with the save. The Cards defeated the Braves 8-1. The Cards are 84-68. The Braves are 83-68. Austin Gomber with the win. Anibal Sanchez with the loss. The Reds defeated the Brewers 3-1. The Reds are 65-87. Milwaukee's 86-66. Sal Romano with the win. Chase Anderson with the loss. Raciel Iglesias with the save. The Rays defeated the Rangers 4-0. The Rays are 84-66. The Rangers are 64-87. Blake Snell with the win. Yovani Gallardo with the loss. The Astros defeated the Mariners 7-0. The Astros are 95-56. The Mariners are 83-68. Josh James with the win. Mike Leake with the loss. The Cubs defeated the Diamondbacks 9-1. The Cubs are 89-62. The Diamondbacks are 78-74. Mike Montgomery with the win. Matt Andriese with the loss. The Angels defeated the A's 9-7. The Angels are 75-76. The A's are 90-61. Brutal loss for the A's as the Yankees gain a game on them. Noe Ramirez with the win. Lou Trevino with the loss. Ty Battery with the save. The Dodgers defeated the Rockies 3-2 in 10 innings on a walk-off homer by Chris Taylor. The Dodgers are now 84-68 and a game and a half up on the Rockies for first in the division. The Rocks dropped to 82-69. Dylan Floro with the win. Adam Ottavino with the loss. The Giants defeated the Padres 5-4. The Giants are now 72-80. The Padres are 60-92. Sam Dyson with the win. Craig Stammen with the loss. Will Smith with the save. Today's games at 12 o'clock, you have Cardinals-Braves, Jack Flaherty and Touki Toussaint. 1 o'clock, Twins-Tigers, Gabriel Moya and Spencer Turnbull. Rays-Rangers, Diego Castillo and Yohander Mendez. Mets-Phillies at 6 o'clock, Noah Syndergaard and Zach Eflin. Blue Jays-O's at 7 o'clock. Marco Estrada and Jacob Yacobanis. Red Sox-Yankees on ESPN. David Price and Luis Severino. Interesting pitching matchup. David Price has been red hot coming into this game. Luis Severino has been awful for 2 months now. That's what would want to make you take the Red Sox, right? How about no? David Price has been bad at Yankee Stadium since joining the Red Sox. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game in the Bronx, so give me the Yankees to get the home win to have the Red Sox wait yet another day to clinch the American League East. Royals-Pirates. Heath Fillmeyer, Chris Archer. White Sox, Indians. Dylan Covey and Carlos Carrasco, 740. Reds, Brewers. Matt Harvey and Gio Gonzalez. 810. Mariners, Astros. Robbie Elias and Dallas Keuchel. 9 o'clock, Giants, Padres. Chris Stratton and Robbie Erlin. 9:40, Cubs, Diamondbacks. Cole Hamels and Robbie Ray. 10 o'clock, ESPN, Rockies, Dodgers. Tyler Anderson and Walker Buehler giving the Dodgers at home. I think that was a too crushing of a defeat for the Rockies last night, and I do not think they'll recover from it. Not ruling them out of the playoffs just yet, although I wouldn't be surprised if things spiraled. Angels, Athletics. Felix Pena and Brett Anderson. Trevor Story is day-to-day with an elbow injury. And there's some speculation that he might have a torn UCL. And he's only supposed to miss a few days, so it's not that big of a loss for the Rockies, as long as they win some baseball games. But if they lose some games like they did last night, they're in heat of trouble. And on the flip side, Aaron Judge came back finally yesterday from being out with that broken wrist. The Yankees said it was only going to be 3 weeks, but it turned out to be way longer than that. And they probably misdiagnosed the injury. Originally it was a fracture, but it was really a break. So he was out those couple weeks. He looked pretty solid last night in his at-bats. A couple feet away from a home run, which would have given the Yankees the lead last night. Instead, the go-ahead home run was by Neil Walker in the bottom of the 7th. So this is a big thing for the Yankees to get their best player back in the lineup. And they better get him right before the wild card game. All right, now I'm going to do my NHL centerman rankings. There's a lot of centers on here. A majority of the centers on this list might not even make their respective teams. There's 167 players on this list. I'm going to go from 167 to 1. 167 is Scott Easter of the Islanders. 166 is Nolan Stevens of the Blues. 165, Brian Pino of the Caps. 164, Kevin Lynch of the Lightning. 163, Wade Megan of the Red Wings. 162, Austin Zarnik of the Flames. 161, Michael McCarron of the Canadiens. 160, Derek Ryan of the Flames. 159, Michael Scarbosa of the Capitals. 158 is Theodore Bluger of the Penguins. 157 is Matt Hendricks of the Wild. 156 is Nicholas Patana of the Jets. 154 is Michael Chapata of the Canadiens. 154 is Dominic Tonnato of the Avalanche. 153 is Victor Edsel of the Chicago Blackhawks. 152 is Cali Kosa of the Ducks. 151 is Brian Ferocci of the Canadiens. 150 is Jacob De La Rose of the Canadiens. 149 is Oscar Sundqvist of the Blues. 148 is Carter Rowney of the Ducks. 147 is Colby Cave of the Bruins. 146 is Jean Sebastian Day of the Penguins. 145 is Frederick Gauthier of the Leafs. Now we're going to start to get into some people's number 4 centers and number 5 centers, for that matter. 144 is David Camp of the Blackhawks. 143 is Cal O'Reilly of the Wild. 142 is Philip Chaplik of the Senators. 141 is Jesperi Kotkaniemi of the Montreal Canadiens. He might be able to make their team, if not out of training camp, but maybe later in the year. You'll see him. 140 is Vladislav Kamenev of the Avalanche. 139 is Jan Kovar of the Islanders. 138 is Derek Grant of the Penguins. 137, Adam Gaudette of the Canucks. 136, Logan Brown of the Senators. 135, Jori Lehtera of the Flyers. 134, Peter Holland of the Rangers. 133, Nate Thompson of the Kings. 132, Dave Bolin of the Coyotes. 131, Derek McKenzie of the Panthers. 130, Matt Cullen of the Penguins. 129, Cooper Maroldi of the Oilers. 128, Robert Thomas of the Blues. 127, Kyle Brodziak of the Oilers. 126, Gamble Smith of the Stars. 125, Alex Broadhurst of the Blue Jackets. 124, Lucas Wallmark of the Hurricanes. 123, Nick Dode of the Capitals. 122, Michael McLeod of the Devils. 121, Ivan Barbashev of the Blues. 120, Scott Lawton of the Flyers. 119, Dylan Gramble of the Sharks. 118, Gabriel Dumont of the Lightning. 117, Andrew Kopp of the Jets. 116, Adam Lowry of the Jets. Now we're getting in that range where pretty much everybody is going to be on their projected teams, barring like a surprise trade or whatnot. 115, Thomas McClanahan of the Canadiens. 114, Riley Shanahan of the Penguins. 113, Casey Cizikas of the Islanders. 112, Jean Gabriel Pageau of the Senators. 111, Brandon Sutter of the Canucks. 110, Travis Zajac of the Devils. 109, Brandon Dubinsky of the Jackets. 108, Cedric Paquette of the Lightning. 107, Brian Boyle of the Devils. 106, Chris Wagner of the Bruins. 105, Jay Beagle of the Canucks. 104, James McCann of the Panthers. 103, Martin Hansel of the Stars. 102, Cody Eakin of the Knights. 101, Philip Chytil of the Rangers. 100, Pavel Zacha of the Devils. 99, Michael Rasmussen of the Red Wings. 98, Valtteri Filppula of the Islanders. 97, Carl Soderberg of the Avalanche. 96, Mark Jankowski of the Flames. 95, Laurent Dauphin of the Coyotes. 94, Jacob Forsbacka Carlson of the Bruins. 93, Sean Curley of the Bruins. 92, Johan Larsson of the Sabres. 91, Franz Nelson of the Red Wings. 90, Marcus Kruger of the Blackhawks. 89, Par Lindholm of the Leafs. 88, Martin Necas of the Hurricanes. 87, Henrik Borgstrom of the Panthers. 86, Chandler Stephenson of the Capitals. 85, Elias Anderson of the Rangers. 84, Elias Peterson of the Canucks. 83, Colin White of the Senators. 82, Joel Eriksson Ek of the Wild. 81, Troy Terry of the Ducks. 80, Dylan Strome of the Coyotes. 79, Brad Richardson of the Coyotes. 78, Christian Dvorak of the Coyotes. 77, Patrick Berglund of the Sabres. 76, Chris Tierney of the Senators. 75, Colton Sissons of the Predators. 74, Ryan Strome of the Oilers. 73, Philip Deneau of the Canadiens. 72, Lars Eller of the Capitals. 71, Nick Bonino of the Predators. 70, Adrian Kempe of the Kings. 69, Alexander Wenberg of the Blue Jackets. 68, Victor Rask of the Hurricanes. 67, Riley Nash of the Jackets. 66, Ryan Kessler of the Ducks. 65, Alex Galchenyuk of the Coyotes. 64, Anthony Cirelli of the Lightning. 63, Radek Foska of the Stars. 62, Mikael Backlund of the Flames. 61, Jordan Stahl of the Hurricanes. 60, Jonathan Drouin of the Canadiens. 59, Nick Schmaltz of the Blackhawks. 58, Artem Anisimov of the Blackhawks. 57, Brock Nelson of the Islanders. 56, Alexander Kerfoot of the Avalanche. 55, Eric Hall of the Knights. 54, Nolan Patrick of the Flyers. 53, Tyler Bozak of the Blues. 52, Kevin Hayes of the Rangers. 51, Kyle Turris of the Predators. 50, Jason Spezza of the Stars. 49, Joe Thornton of the Sharks. 48, Sam Bennett of the Flames. 47, Adam Henrique of the Ducks. 46, Derek Brassard of the Penguins. 45, Derek Stepan of the Coyotes. 44, Casey Middlestall of the Sabres. 43, Mika Zibanejad of the Rangers. 42, Matt Duchene of the Senators. 41, Nazem Kadri of the Leafs. 40, Bo Horvat of the Canucks. 39, Brian Little of the Jets. 38, Paul Stastny of the Golden Knights. 37, David Krejci of the Bruins. 36, Nick Foligno of the Blue Jackets. 35, Dylan Larkin of the Red Wings. 34, Ryan Johansson of the Predators. 33, Jeff Carter of the Kings. 32, Eric Stahl of the Wild. 31, Nico Hischier of the New Jersey Devils. 30, Sebastian Aho of the Hurricanes. 29, Sean Monahan of the Flames. 28, Ryan O'Reilly of the Blues. 27, Logan Couture of the Sharks. 26, Braden Point of the Lightning. 25, Braden Shen of the Blues. 24, William Karlsson of the Golden Knights. 23, Ryan Getzlaf of the Ducks. 22, Jonathan Toews of the Blackhawks. I know people are complaining that the last two guys I mentioned should be higher, but reality is that these two guys aren't the same players as they once were. 21, Vincent Trocheck of the Panthers. 20, Matthew Barzal of the Islanders. 19, Evgeny Malkin of the Pens. 18, Sean Couturier of the Flyers. 17, Pierre-Luc Dubois of the Blue Jackets. 16, Leon Draisaitl of the Oilers. 15, Joe Pavelski of the Sharks. 14, Evgeny Kuznetsov of the Caps. 13, Jack Eichel of the Sabres. 12, Patrice Bergeron of the Bruins. 11, Tyler Seguin of the Stars. 10, Alexander Barkov of the Panthers. 9, Nicholas Backstrom of the Capitals. 8, Mark Shefley of the Winnipeg Jets. 7, Nathan MacKinnon of the Avs. 6, Anze Kopitar of the Kings. 5, John Tavares of the Leafs. 4, Austin Matthews of the Leafs. Debatable about Tavares and Matthews, but I think Matthews is poised for a bigger season. 3, Steven Stamkos of the Lightning. 2, Sidney Crosby of the Penguins. And number 1, Connor McDavid, Edmonton Oilers. Debatable whether Crosby or McDavid for one, but I just think McDavid has been the best player in the league for a few years now. And although Crosby's still amazing, but McDavid's young, and he's going to be good for a very, very long time. And I should have said this before I did the rankings. I did the rankings based on projections for this season and what have you done for me lately. Now I'm going to do the 2008 NFL redraft. This should be fun. Number 1, Miami Dolphins, Matt Ryan. He would have been their franchise quarterback right now if he was picked by them. 2, the Rams, Ryan Clady, the offensive lineman, was a great Pro Bowler for all those years. 3, Falcons, Jake Long was a Pro Bowler when he first entered the league. Then he started declining and had a lot of injuries. 4, the Oakland Raiders, Calais Campbell. He's a stud right now, and if he was on the Raiders defense right now, maybe Khalil Mack wouldn't have wanted out. 5, Kansas City Chiefs, Matt Forte. He had a phenomenal career with the Bears and was the best running back of this group, in my opinion. 6, New York Jets, Deshaun Jackson. Was a deep threat and still is a deep threat at wide receiver, and was able to return kicks and punts earlier in his career. 7, New Orleans Saints, Cliff Averill. He would have been a great piece to their defense in those seasons when they were a Super Bowl contender. 8, Jacksonville Jaguars, Brandon Albert. That's ironic because Albert was traded from the Dolphins to the Jaguars and Albert wanted to retire. So that's ironic. And the Jags weren't that bad of a team for those few years. And then they were awful, so maybe Brandon Albert would have had an impact on those teams. 9, Cincinnati Bengals, Dwayne Brown was a great offensive lineman for a few years. He would have been pretty good at protecting Carson Palmer than Andy Dalton. 10, New England Patriots, Josh Sidden, Pro Bowl guard. He's out for the season, unfortunately, for this year, but he certainly would have been doing a good job protecting Tom Brady. 11, Buffalo Bills, Gerard Mayo, very good linebacker, a Pro Bowler. 12, Denver Broncos, Aqib Talib. That's ironic because they ended up signing Talib as a free agent. 13, the Carolina Panthers, Joe Flacco. Maybe he would have been their franchise, not their franchise quarterback, but maybe he would have been their quarterback for those few years that they were awful before Cam Newton came around. 14, the Chicago Bears, Jordy Nelson. Pretty good wide receiver in his prime. 15, the Kansas City Chiefs, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. When he was in his prime, he was one of the better corners in the league. 16, the Arizona Cardinals, Jamal Charles. He was a good running back. Now it's going to be a string full of running backs here. 17, the Lions, Chris Johnson. 18, the Ravens, Ray Rice. That's ironic. 19, the Panthers, Jonathan Stewart. That's ironic too. 20, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Darren McFadden. 21, the Atlanta Falcons, Brandon Flowers. He was a cornerback. I believe he actually made a Pro Bowl as well. 22, the Dallas Cowboys, Chris Long. He was a good defensive player for a couple of years. 23, Pittsburgh Steelers, Leotis McKelvin. He would have been good in that secondary when they made their Super Bowl runs. 24, Tennessee Titans, Mike Jenkins. He was a Pro Bowl cornerback too. 25, the Dallas Cowboys, Thomas DeCloud, the safety. So they would have had 2 impact defensive players. 26, Houston Texans, Tracy Porter. Solid cornerback. Was on the 2009 Saints team that won the Super Bowl. 28, the Los Angeles Chargers, Carl Nix. He was a solid lineman for a few years. 28, the Seattle Seahawks, Jeremy Suta, the center. He was a Pro Bowler. 29, the San Francisco 49ers, Rashad Mendenhall. He was a good running back in his prime. 30, the New York Jets, Eddie Royal, the wide receiver. So the Jets would have had 2 weapons. And then Mark Sanchez would have came along the next year, perhaps. 31, the New York Giants, Martellus Bennett. He would have been a nice tight end for Eli Manning. Oh, wait, he was a Giant for a few years after. And there was 31 picks in the draft that year because the Patriots got a first-round pick taken away from them due to Spygate. All right, that's it for the podcast today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping today's baseball games. Look ahead to tomorrow's action. We'll pick some football games that are going to be played tomorrow, and we'll go over anything else in the world that happens in sports. And I'll also be doing my NHL wing rankings. So that's going to be interesting. There's going to be over 200 on that one because it's going to be right wings and left wings. I hope you guys have a great day, everybody.